Hey, how's it going, everybody on YouTube? Today I'm going to be installing a quick release on my aftermarket steering wheel, and I picked one up off of eBay. It's similar to that NRG type deal where you pull this up, and it's a ball bearing style where it'll release actually the base like that, and then it has the ball bearings on the inside of it. I picked it up for about 30 They're almost $35, including the tax. Shipping was fairly quickly. Got here in a couple of days, and it came with all the screws and everything to install it, and the little Allen wrench. But I have my own set of Allen wrenches, so in case there's different sizes, I'm ready for that. But yeah, so what you need to do for all of those wondering, what you need to start off putting an aftermarket wheel is you actually need to get a universal hub, which is down here, and you take off your stock steering wheel, and then the steering wheel right here will bolt on. So what's gonna happen is I'm gonna unbolt the 6 screws right here, and then I'm going to be bolting this part on, and then the steering wheel on this part on top. So let's get started right now. So now with the correct Allen wrench, you go and start loosening up all the screws until they all come out, and then basically you just do this, and then they should all come out until the steering wheel gets removed from the universal hub that's attached to with the screws. So now the steering wheel is removed, and then you have this hub right here. This is the universal hub that is attached when you remove the stock steering wheel, and this is the nut that holds it onto the steering wheel column, where it goes all the way down and attaches to the steering rack. And now here's the wheel. So what I'm going to be doing right now is fitting this on here. That means I have to screw it on the actual hub on the actual universal adapter, and then attach this. So I'm just going to release this right here, and then I'm going to be screwing it in with the supplied screws that I got with the quick release. So we have these longer ones and these smaller ones right here, these flatheads. So now what I'm doing is I am getting these longer screws, and then I'm attaching the bottom portion of the quick release to the universal hub. So you get all of these 6 screws and just put them all around. And to bolt the steering wheel, I'm going to be using the screws that I already had from before, what I originally removed that were attached just to the universal hub. I'm going to be using these to attach the steering wheel to the top part of the quick release. So there will be the 6 screws that are going to be going here, holding the steering wheel in place on this actual piece. So I'm going to finish putting the rest of the screws that are on here, and then just using an Allen wrench to tighten them. And then when you're tightening them, make sure that they're snug, and then try not to over tighten them, because if you over tighten them, there's a possibility that you might mess up the thread, and then you'll have one of the screws that won't tighten up at all. So yeah, so this is what you do. This Allen wrench tool is really handy. It has different sizes for different Allen wrench needs, and it has this little grip that it's easy to just tighten up the screws as you go along. So, and in case you want to tighten a screw on well and make sure that it's tightened, you can bend it a little like so, and then just tighten it. Just give it a little twist. Yeah, so just make sure that all of them are snug, not too tight, if not too loose as well, because with time, with vibrations, there is a chance that they might get loose. But yeah, so you just make sure to tighten them. Check them ever so often, every month or so, every couple of weeks if you'd like, just to make sure that they're not loose. And yeah, so just make sure that they're nice and snug, and then this piece won't move anymore. Perfect. And so now you know exactly where the top portion will go, because on the back of it has 6 ball bearings on top and 3 on the bottom. So there is no other way that this will fit, because there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 notches here, and then there will be 3 more at the bottom. And so from the way you turned off your car and then locked your steering wheel in place, you'll kind of figure where to screw on your steering wheel here, because the way it'll face once your car is once you're driving your car, so the steering wheel isn't slanted to one side after you screw it on. So let me go ahead and start the process on how to put the steering wheel on here. Since I don't have my horn connected, I don't have any need for the wires that come with the quick release, so I'm just gonna go ahead and leave them there. And this is the wheel that I'm using. It's a 350 millimeter deep dish, and so I just have to make sure that I know where it's gonna fit in place. Perfect. Let me just get this right on there. Perfect. There we go. And see, with this design, there is no play, which I like a lot, because I've tried other quick releases, cheaper quick releases, that actually have a lot of play, and this one actually is very, very sturdy. And I know that you want to drive something that's very, very sturdy. And so so now with the steering wheel is going to go on like this. And so when you bolt it on, just make sure to hold the horn in place and make sure that it's not tilted or moved. And then you're going to be attaching the 6 screws that are going to be going on the base of it. So those are the screws, and then they're going to go all around right here, all around the bracket right here. What I'm going to be trying out is a new setup. I'm not going to be putting this little plate that was on top, so I don't have to use the longer bolts. So I'm going to try using the smaller bolts that came with it. So there's these that sit flush with this. I know there's a little bit of color discoloration, but it's fine. I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, these screws, when they go in, they'll actually sit flush with the wheel like that. And then the center piece, the horn piece that I have right here, I'll go ahead and slip it right here, and then just make sure that's evened out, and then I'll go ahead and push it in just so it's in place right there. So let me go ahead and start tightening these up right here, and then I'll put on the horn next. And another thing, if you want, that you can also do is just put a couple of the screws in, 2 or 3 of them, and then just make sure that they're snug, that the wheel's snug to the top portion of the quick release. And then you can even try releasing the steering wheel already. And then, so this is how the steering wheel is going to look, like this. And so you can take it off whenever you want, and then just to slip it back in, it's the reversal of the removal. You just hold this in like that in place, and just slide this over that. And now that the screws are tightened up right there, you just make sure that they're nice and snug. And what you're gonna have to do is try to fit this horn on here so it clips on there. My quick release came with this metal bracket right here, but it being inside is kind of preventing it started preventing my horn from being stuck there in place. It's just a little too thick with both parts being there. And the horn has a couple of little notches around. So what you're gonna have to do is just pull that metal piece out, and then just fit this so it fits snug on there. And if you have to, go ahead and just put maybe like electrical tape on the notches right here just to hold it in place. But it should not fall off. And there you have it. There's the installation for the steering wheel and the quick release. Thank you. Have a great day. Bye.